This video will review how to submit an advisor request through Campus Solutions. The advisor request functionality provides an online avenue for users to submit various approved requests on behalf of students. These requests may include course substitutions, requirement unit waivers, and other types of requests that facilitate progress towards completion of graduation requirements on the degree progress report. The requests are simply submitted through the Campus Solutions system and alleviates the process of submitting paper, fax, or email attachments. An advisor request is submitted through the Advisor Center. To navigate to the Advisor Center, go to Main Menu, Self-Service, Advisor Center, My Advisees. Within the My Advisees screen, we will search for an example student. Within the Academics section, there will be a drop-down menu. Select Advisor Request. A new screen will appear. Within this new screen, select Create New Request. Now that the advising request has appeared, the first field that will need to be completed is the request type. Click on the Request Type drop-down menu and make your selection. You will select Complementary Studies if you would like the student's DPR to reflect that this requirement has been met. User note: while the specific rules for complementary studies are being built into the DPR for each BA major program, this request can be used in the meantime while course lists are being determined by each department. You will select course substitution when a transfer course or another SF State course can be used for a requirement in the major program. The comments box can also be used for additional information like waiving required units if the substituted course is from a quarter system campus. You will select waive units overall when a substituted course is either from a quarter system campus or an elective course at SF State that may result in a deficiency towards overall units required for the major. For example, you can see that the student has met all major program courses but is short from the overall program units. The advisor requested a unit adjustment to be coded into the student's DPR. You will select Waive Units, Course, or Requirement when a course is applied to the requirement that may result in a deficiency of that specific requirement. For example, a line requirement is set for 3 units, however only 2.68 units from a quarter system campus are applying. This request can be utilized to waive the difference of 0.32 units from the 3 units required. Once you make a selection, a set of instructions and fields will appear. Fill in the fields according to the instructions. I recommend opening a new window with the student's DPR and, if needed, the transfer credit report to assist when filling out each field. For this example student, I will complete a request for a course that was completed at another institution but does not articulate as an SF State equivalent course. I will fill out each field based on the requirement description. This information can be confirmed on the student's DPR. DS-110 is listed as a prerequisite. Name of the advisor submitting the request. Name of the institution where the course was taken and the name of the course and when it was taken. I will locate these details on the transfer credit report. And the requirement number and line number, which I will copy directly from the student's DPR. You may list any additional information that would be helpful within the comments box. However, the comments box is not a required field. Once you have completed the above fields, you will select one of the available options within the requester line. There are 5 options available within the drop-down menu. You will select the hold status if you've begun a request and don't want to lose what you've entered or are not ready to submit it. This status will keep the request active and will not be submitted into the workflow. Once the status is selected, all information entered in the fields, whether partial or not, will be permanently saved and cannot be edited. If you select the hold status, you are able to return to your request through the main Advisor Request screen and select the option Edit. If you've made a mistake and would like to start over, select the Add Another button to re-enter information into the fields. Complete your request by using the Submit status. User note: using the Add Another button does not create a new separate request, but continues with the existing one that was started. The in-basket status is essentially the same as the hold status. It is generally not recommended to use this status as it is designated for the responders that will receive this request. You will select the Submit status once you are ready to submit your request. This status submits the request and notifies the next person in the workflow that action is required. The Submit with Changes status will be used if a request was returned to the requester for clarification or changes. It can then be resubmitted using Submitted with Changes to put it back in the workflow. After a request has been submitted and a responder returns it back to the requester with a note of Needs Advisor Clarification, this status will become available if the requester needs to withdraw the request. User note: when a requester marks a request as withdrawn, it will remain in the system with this status, but no notification will be sent to the student or advisor. Since this request is ready for submission and we are not responding to any request for follow-up information, I will select the option Submit. Once a request has been submitted, the responder will receive an email notification, such as this example email, stating that a request is ready for processing. Once a request has been processed, the responder will close the request in the system. After a final status is entered by the responder, the request will be placed in queue of our batch notification process. The batch notification process is scheduled to run at 12 p.m. and 12 a.m. daily. The student will receive an email notification of this update to the record. Additionally, the original requester will receive a blind carbon copy of the same email message. Here's an example of a generic message a student will receive when the request is completed. The responder can also include any specific or unique information in the message pertinent to the request. At any time, you may search for a particular advisor request to confirm its status. To navigate to the advisor request status, go to Main Menu, CSU SA Baseline, CSU Academic Advising, Advisor Request and Records, Advisor Request Status. For this example search, I want to review all requests submitted by a specific advisor. Enter your search parameters within the advisor field and select the Fetch button. Additionally, you may search how many advisor requests have been submitted for a specific student. You will insert the student's ID within the Advisee ID field and select the Fetch button. If you have any questions about the submission process, you may visit the Business Process Guide located within Staff Resources on the Registrar's webpage or email our team at regweb@sfsu.edu.